Well, good evening and welcome to Primetime Thematic. I'm your host, Phil Maq, and this is WHFR.FM, the only station making waves. And this is the show that's between the Philby Hot 100 Songs of 2016 and the Best Albums of 2016. And to make this even more special, because, you know, it's the first show of the year, so Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you all had a good one. But I have a special band in the studio with me who are going to be releasing their album this weekend. So I have the TGoS, and we're going to be doing some talking and playing some of their fresh tracks. They're so fresh. They have that, like when you buy a new car, I got that fresh smell. It's kind of like that. So before we get to talking with the guys, because they're all here in the studio, they all have their headphones on and trying to link everybody up to listen in. So I'm going to give everybody just a few seconds to do that. How about a little bit of this day in music history? Well, I'll lead off with that. So I'm going to dig out Daddy G, who does the Malt Shop every Tuesday morning from 2 to 4 p.m., and I'm going to have him hit it, and then we're going to play, I'm going to play a song for you, and then we'll be talking to Garden of Soul.
On this date in music history.
On this date in music history. This was from 1971. This album was number one today. George Harrison's All Things Must Pass. Here's a song off the album, Run of the Mill. One of my favorites off there. George Harrison from the number one album today, 1971. So this is WHFR.FM, the only station making waves. Primetime Thematic, Phil Maq, and I have with me in the studio, and I'm going to try to turn up their mics and see what we get out of this. I have the Garden of Soul, Detroit band, and we're going to be playing some music off of their new release called Forsaken.
That's right.
And yeah, so let me see how these things are working with you guys, and we'll go from there. So let's see, Drake.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you got to get a little
How's
close.
it sounding? Yeah, we're having to share some mics here.
Yep, because we got a lot of guys in here. Okay, so why don't you introduce the band, or maybe the band could go around in a circle and introduce themselves. And
Sure, why don't we do it that way?
Fantastic. My name is Al Rosati. I go by Bone, and I'm the lead singer of the band. And I'm privileged to play with these guys week in and week out. Fantastic musicians.
Yeah, thank you much. My name's Leon Carpenter. My middle name's Drake, so I go by Drake on stage. I am the bass player and most recent addition to the band, although most recent was, it's going to be 6 years now, fellas.
Wow. Yep, I'm Mike, otherwise known as Mikey J by the fellas here. I play guitar, been in the band really since its inception, back in 06. Been a lot of good years, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And my name's Ken Burns. I'm the drummer in the band. Some light back vocals. Me and Mikey are the ooh and ah twins. So you'll hear that and when they play the tracks, I'm sure. But thank you.
all right, now that we've met everybody, I want to say this, okay? And I have special feelings about almost any album that I listen to. Right at the beginning of the year. And maybe it's because I do so many like year-end things, that I get very attached to the first album that's good. And yours was pretty much the first album I listened to at the beginning of the year. I don't know if that's a sign, but I usually take that as a good sign. I talked to you, Drake, from when I contacted you and said, I liked it from the first note. There's 8 songs on the album. Mm-hmm. There's no filler as far as I'm concerned. And I want to talk a little bit about that stuff as we go through this. Why don't you tell everybody where you're playing so that way we'll mention the show and that you're going to be able to get this album that I'm going to be playing some tracks from and we're going to be talking about for the next, maybe next half hour, 40 minutes, something like that.
Perfect. Sure. So we're playing this Saturday night in Ferndale at the Loving Touch. Doors will open at 8. We go on at 9 to open the show. Once we get done entertaining and helping people to let their soul grow, we're going to be able to celebrate the rest of the night with Orbis and the Static Dial. The Static Dial we've played with in the past. Bill's a pretty creative guy, and he's got some good guys working with him now. And Al, maybe you can talk a little bit. He knows a couple of guys from Orbis for whom we haven't played with yet.
Yeah, Orbis is a band that's been around for a long time. A good friend of mine, Pete, is the lead singer of that band, and he's played in several different bands throughout his career. He's a local guy. He came out of the Utica area, and he traveled to L.A., and he formed this band called Orbis. And this is kind of a reunion for them because there's some of the original members that are back. And it's going to be a great time. I hope everyone comes out and checks it out. It's going to be a night for live local bands, and if you're into that kind of stuff, I'm sure that you're going to have a fantastic time. I know we're going to have a great time
Absolutely.
rocking it out, and we always look forward to the live shows.
Yeah, well, if you're listening to WHFR, you like stuff that you don't hear on regular radio, and we play the most local music by anybody anywhere around here, okay, just in general. And I feel very proud saying that. I want to play the first song that you guys want me to play off the album, and once again, it's Forsaken, and you guys have a reason why you want me to play the song.
Yeah, we're going to start with Superman.
Yeah, Superman was the first song that we wrote as a band, and it really is. It was really the coming out for us. It was a song that just Mikey and I clicked. He threw out some licks, and I had a lot going on at the time, and it just was one of those things that it just poured out of me. And lyrically, I think that it relates to a lot of people when you're going through a lot of things in life, and sooner or later, somebody always thinks that you're the Superman, and eventually they realize, and you realize that you're not wearing a cape. You're just like everybody else, and your nose is to the grindstone. And I really think that that's what the song's about.
All right, that's a good intro. So we're going to go with that right now. The Garden of Soul, Superman. First time anywhere. World premieres, right, guys?
That's right.
Fantastic.
Hey,
Thanks
all right, here we go. We like it like that.
Yeah.
I'm not the Superman you think I am.
Superman by The Garden of Soul. And it's off their new album, Forsaken. And I'm here in the studio with the guys. Let's see. We got Bone, we got Drake, we got Kenny. Who else we got? Mike. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to forget you. I'm just trying to make my way around the circle here, because we're all sitting here in Studio A at WHFR.FM, the only station making waves. And we're playing these world premiere songs off this brand new album by these guys. And they got a show this Saturday to promote it over at
The Loving Touch in Ferndale. It's on Woodward, on the east side of Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. Doors at 8. We go on at 9.
Very good place to listen to a band. One of my favorite places around town, actually. So I've heard a lot of great music over there over the years, and I suppose Saturday will be right along those lines. All right, so Superman, and we have a lot of listeners out there, so if this is your first time, how you doing?
Happy New Year,
Welcome.
people.
Happy New Year, yeah.
There
Amen.
we go. All right, we had a special request, by the way, for the next song. So, I want to talk about this next song. Okay, let me ask some questions first, okay? And I don't know who wants to answer these, because I don't know who does what and wherever. I know the drummer, because that's Kenny, okay? And I know that
everybody knows the drummer, right?
Yeah, well, it matters to me, because I play. So I always know the drummer. I always try to find out who the drummer is. Okay, and then Bone, I hear that you do all the vocals. Do you do all the vocals on the album?
I do. I do all the vocals, and I get some nice backup from these guys, which is perfect. It makes it sound a lot more full, and that's what you need to be, to be successful. You can't do it all on your own. And the writing process is pretty interesting in itself. I don't play guitar. Most of the guys that write lyrics, they play a guitar. In my case, I've got Mike, who he brings it, and it's real nice because I can tell him what I'm looking for, and within seconds he can rip it up. And it's nice because I come to the table with most of the chorus and melody stuff, and then these guys, it's pretty magical. We can sit down and just start messing around, and within probably minutes we can pull together some stuff that we go, wow, you know what, that's definitely usable material. Mm-hmm. And lyrically, I've been blessed with the gift of gab and being able to put stuff on paper, and hopefully you guys like it.
We've come up with entire songs just in one practice session.
Yeah, it's accidental most of the time.
Yeah,
for sure.
Just find a topic, and you just seem to run with it. And
well, that's not entirely a true statement. It does happen accidentally a lot. Where, we started as a cover band, and going out and playing 3 sets in a night just starts to get a little old after a while. And when we were at rehearsals, we just started creating some really cool original stuff. And a lot of times it would happen on accident. We'd be in between rehearsing songs and somebody will be fiddling around with something. Mikey might be fiddling or I might be fiddling or whatever, and Al will hear it. And he'll go, what did you just do? Let's do that again. And within, like Mikey said, 10 or 15 minutes of just doing an open jam and just improv and figuring out where it goes, it happens. And I often say it, but Al he said it himself. He's got the gift of gab, and it doesn't take long for him to be able to put the lyrics down. He doesn't come to practice with a book full of poems. He has to be inspired by the music that he's hearing. So it does happen accidentally, but then again, Mikey will bring stuff to the table sometimes that is just out of this world, and it has to become something. So when things happen accidentally, we'll play with it for a while, and then we'll lay it down on somebody's iPhone. We call it the iPhone Chronicles. We got a whole library of really cool song ideas. We've already got the second album written practically.
We have a ton of great starts for songs that we haven't even finished yet. But I mean, we listen to some of this stuff that's chronicled, and we go, "Wow, that's unbelievable. We need to do something with that."
Let's brush it
off. There's a lot of stuff in there that we have to go back and retouch and work on. And the same thing happens for me. Being a drummer, I'll lay down some rhythm or a beat or something too, and these guys are able to pick up off of that. And a lot of time, it's just a real open way of writing that we have, and it really works out well for the final product.
I remember there was a time a couple years back when we decided we were going to be an original band. We had made this agreement with each other. Let's all go home and write something and come with something that's like 70% done, and then we'll just. It never happened. Our music is very honest. We don't sit down and try to calculate and write a song. It's just what pours out of us while we're doing it.
Which is what makes it great for us, because when we're entertaining, it really is our blood, sweat, and tears. And I know, at least for my family, I've got 4 kids at home, and their dad is constantly singing. And everything that I do is a song, and they're like, "All right, Dad, enough." But it's just how it's how I keep my mind thinking about the next topic, and just keeping on, and it's a good time. So we're excited about the direction our music's going, and I really feel like I couldn't be blessed with having better band members. I mean, for guys that are middle-aged and are holding down full-time gigs and doing the family thing, for what I feel we can actually give to the listening population, I think we do a heck of a job, because we don't do this full-time, and some of the stuff that we put out there is parallel with those guys that do this full time.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's got to be quality over quantity for us.
Well, I just wanted to say too, with the track I think that's coming up next too, is we really set out to do something different, and I think you'll agree that we completely succeeded with that. It is a very different song than pretty much anything I've heard in a long time.
This is one of those accidental songs. I was just fiddling around with this bass riff.
Yeah, interestingly enough, it did not start with one of my guitar riffs.
No, this started with a little bass riff that became the foundation of the song, and Mikey just all of a sudden threw this manual, striking, echoing kind of guitar over top of it, and that just really got Al involved. He's like, "This is pretty cool, let's work with this," and away it went.
Yeah, and the thing too that I try to do lyrically is I don't want to pigeonhole the song. I like it when a song can take you in a lot of different directions based on what you're experiencing and maybe what's going on in your personal life, so that it puts a stamp on that. Something triggers you back when you hear a song of what may have been going on in your life at a certain time. I think that's what makes songs special to us, is that we can, as soon as we hear it, we can relate to that time frame or that thing that was going on. And so I try to really allow the listener to interpret what's happening. And this song is kind of unique, because when I wrote the lyrics for this song, I was thinking of something totally different. And then when it finally, when the rubber hit the road, Drake was like, "Wow, this song sounds to me like this." And I was like, "Wow, you know what? That's interesting, because that's not the way that I wrote it, but it's great." And every person that's heard this song is a song that everyone has an opinion about. And I can honestly say that playing this for my family, my daughter Mia loves this song. I mean, she cannot wait to hear this song. When we get in the van to take her to school, if this song's not on, she's having a fit. So this one's for you, Mia.
Yeah, I'm not going to play it yet, though. I want to pick this apart a little bit, okay?
Sure.
All right. Who did the producing on this?
I did.
Okay.
That's Drake, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. This is a different
Drake's the
medium.
techno head. He does anything that has to do with computers, graphics. He's our man.
You'd be nowhere without him right now.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
There's a couple things I want to point out before I play this song. All right, but let's talk about the making of the album for just a second, okay? There's a lot of detail in this album, okay? Just for starters, okay? Vocals are not... Okay, look, you could do something, you could do it straightforward, you could have everybody kind of sound the same. No, you don't do that. You don't, like, pick a voice sound for one track. Lots of times, the voice gets distorted, it gets filtered, you move something else around, it's whispered, you know? There's some tracks where I hear some whispered background and things. There's a lot of sound effects on the album. Very interesting. There's a maniacal laugh at the beginning of this song. Who's that?
That's me.
That's him, yeah.
That's the Bone guy.
We let Al do all the important stuff vocally.
No, it's really cool. I mean, this is the one that hit me today, though, you know, and I'm going to tell you why it hit me after I play it. But there's a nice little, and this is the reason why I'm asking about who did the engineering and the producing, because and I want the listeners to listen very closely to the guitar stuff on this, Mike's guitar, because there's like an attack and then an echo behind it and stuff, and there's a lot of detail, and I just really like that little effect. Okay, so was that yours, or I'm asking Mike, was that yours, or did he add that, or what?
Well, live I do play it somewhat that way, but when we recorded it, it was pretty much all engineered by Drake.
Okay.
And he really made that, decay really nice and come off how it does so well on the album.
So I want to point that out, okay? And then this song to me works on many different levels, and I'll talk about that after we hear it, okay? Well, no, I'm telling you, my opinion on almost any music is that there's so many decisions that go into making a record, an album, whatever, you know? I mean, people, even something bad, you know? I mean, there's so many decisions that had to be made. Sure. And this one here, it sounds like you made all the right decisions. I mean, I'm not just saying it because these guys are sitting here with me and I'm playing their stuff. I'm going to say it after they're gone. It's a really cool album, and I don't know what you want to categorize it, if you want to categorize it as anything. I'm not really fond of labels, but it's kind of it reminds me of a couple of things.
And I would probably say that this one, besides just saying it's different, because it certainly is, I kind of put it sort of in a shock rock type of genre lyrically.
This song, yeah, absolutely.
The whole album, we have a hard time, picking what the genre is. It's.
Yeah, I think that's our biggest struggle.
There's no pigeonholing what we do. That's for sure.
It's kind of got a classic rock structure.
Yes.
Because we're all kind of middle aged, and that's what we grew up on. But it's got a modern
These guys
sound.
don't look nothing like middle aged.
We're not a bunch of 20-year-olds shacked up in a loft downtown just trying to do music full time. As Al said, we all have our day jobs, as you will. But it's hard. It's just, like I said before, it's just honest. It's just what comes out of us. So we'd love to have the people get on our Facebook page and tell us what you think our music is.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough.
Yeah, we're definitely not in a box, that's for sure.
No.
Okay. All right. Bone, introduce it again.
This song is called Queen Isabella.
Look around you. Look around, what do you see? So glad I found you. Every night, night will dead, you bring me back to life. Queen Isabella.
Ah, yes, there you go. Queen Isabella. That's by the Garden of Soul off their brand new album, Forsaken. And you can find that. Go ahead. We just talked about that, guys.
Well, you can go to our website, just thegardenofsoul.com. There'll be links there. You can pick it up on iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon, Google Play. It's all over the place.
Now, that song is a little I'm trying to, because I know that somebody's daughter really likes that, so I don't want to. That's a little off-center, isn't it? It's a little.
It is. It's
different.
dark.
Okay, yeah, dark.
Color
There you
dark.
go. Okay, we'll go there.
That's Drake's interpretation. I have a wholly different view of it.
Yeah, that's the thing is everybody can interpret it different. I think visually because my background is in graphics and animation and video production, so I'm always thinking of the visuals for this song, and I came up with a story of my own based on what Al wrote, which was completely different than the picture he saw in his own head.
Okay.
And I came up with something completely different too.
I like the British chap in the middle to the British sounding chap. He sounds like an upstanding gentleman there.
We had fun with that part for sure.
I bet you did. Okay, so yeah, I'm talking here with the Garden of Soul. We got Drake, we got Bone, we got Mike, we got Kenny. Right? Did I remember everybody?
You got it.
Yeah, I'm getting
All
there.
right.
Okay, and I know that we're running out of time real quickly here, so I don't want to do a lot of talking here. But I'm going to tell you, drumming straightforward. It sounds really good. Guitar's incredible. I mean, the guitars are incredible.
Mikey's one of the best guitar players in the Motor City, if not outside of that. He's a well-kept secret, and now it's about to become well known.
Oh, shucks.
Let's go back to Kenny. When I say that it's straightforward, that's a compliment. Okay. That it's just solid. I'm not trying to pass you off as I say compliments to Mike there, but no, you're right there. It's all good. It's solid. It's what you need for what you're playing. I always appreciate a drummer that does that.
That's what I try to do. It's you don't want to overcomplicate it, and you don't want to play it too cautious either. You want to play to what you're playing. So
He's in the pocket.
In the pocket,
on,
absolutely. That's a good phrase. Yep, I'm with that. That's good. In the pocket is always good. And while we're talking here, I got to do something here before we play the next song. You guys want to start talking about the title track that we're going to play?
Yeah, so this is one of the ones that wasn't accidental. Mikey actually brought this one to the table. He had this riff, and he does it every night. He doesn't tell us, hey, I've been working on this new riff. He'll just start messing around with it. And we'll be like, what is that? It's a little something I've been working on.
Yeah, I do. I do a lot of riffs like that.
Yeah.
So just to see which ones you guys pick up on.
Well, one thing you got to know about Mike is this guy literally is one of the most fantastic guitar players that you would ever meet. I mean, he has a repertoire of music that he can rattle off at any given time. And
Stump the Chump.
Yeah, I mean, we used to play Stump the Chump, and we would be like, Mike, play something from this, something from that. And he would come up with this stuff that he knew that's in the back of his mind from generations ago. And so a lot of times he'll do this, and we're all looking at each other like, wait a second, is this some song that we've never heard, or is this something that Mike's bringing to the table? And it really is a wonderful thing that we have in Mike, for sure.
Well, and we had actually one the last time we got together to practice, which was a few weeks ago because of the holidays. But we started playing to a riff that Mike was playing, and Drake didn't realize that we weren't playing somebody else's song.
No.
So he was like, what is this you're playing? And it's like, it's us. And he's like
scrambling for the iPhone
to get the iPhone to document it so we can go back to it later.
It goes back to Al's
listen to
vocals.
it, so.
I mean, he was right. He was in the pocket with his vocals, and he was just
making it up.
Slinging. He was slinging.
Just came up with something that you
well,
thought was
and the
out
one
there.
thing too that I don't want to say that this is something that I haven't done, but in college I was an English major, and I really enjoyed creative writing, and so I have to say it's helped me because
Shh, you're letting the secret out of the bag.
Sorry, but so this stuff is in my head, but it's also part of some formal training that I had with how to pull some of that stuff out and use different techniques. But still, you got to be able to do an impromptu when Mikey hits that that stuff that he's bringing to the table. It starts coming out of you, and before you know it, half the time I don't even remember what I said.
That's right. That's why we document it.
Yeah, because I would be the one that was lost. That's for sure.
Okay, give me about 3 seconds. Give me a second. I have to do this.
WHFR, Dearborn.
Okay, I legally have to do that. Yeah, you're listening to WHFR.FM, the only station making waves. Primetime thematic, Phil Maq sitting here with the Garden of Soul. We're doing some gardening tonight off the new album, Forsaken. Okay, I know that I got the top 9 at 9:09 tonight, so we're getting pushed here a little bit. Go ahead. Anything you want to say about this? Well, what's Forsaken? What is Forsaken? Is there something specific, or is it generic, or?
Well, I think at some point, all of us feel forsaken from something, whether it's a person, whether it's a job that we had, whether it's spiritual. Sometimes you hit these low spots in your life and you look around you and you're thinking to yourself, man, am I really at this place? Why is it that I feel this way? And I think lyrically, it articulates that, where there's a struggle here, where somebody's really reaching out for a higher power, and they just feel like no matter what is going on in their life, they just can't achieve this feeling of being unforsaken. They really feel neglected, rejected, what have you. So that's what this song's about.
Yeah, and for, honestly, the type of music that sometimes this would get lumped into, once again, go into the categories. This is a deep song.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, and Queen Isabella in its own way was kind of deep. So, I'm having a blast with this stuff. So here we go.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Forsaken, title track of the new album by the Garden of Soul. You know what? Before I play this, I told you I'm going to have you do this. Go ahead. Tell me about the gig this weekend.
That's right. It's this Saturday night in fashionable and fabulous Ferndale. We're going to be at the Loving Touch. Doors at 8. We go on at 9. We'll be playing with Orbis and the Static Dial.
All right. Here we go. Forsaken, Garden of Soul.
Have you forsaken me?
There you go. The title track of their brand new CD, Forsaken by the Garden of Soul. And this is WHFR.FM, the only station making waves. Primetime thematic, Phil Maq, with Bone, Drake, Mike, and Kenny. All the guys here. They should become household names just like John, George, Paul, and Ringo.
Wow, that's right.
That ain't a compliment.
There we go.
That's better.
Yep, that is better. It helps if you hit the microphones.
There we go.
All right. So, we didn't miss too much. You were laughing in the background. It's fine. All right. So, let's wrap this up here. We're going to play one more song by you guys. I have Top 9 at 9:09 coming up. This week, it's going to be Phil's Fave Songs. And I haven't done one of those in a few weeks, so hopefully you'll stick around for that, especially if you haven't heard this before. I play all kinds of different styles of music. But let me tell you that I want them to tell you where to find their music, tell you one more time about where they're playing this weekend, because there's lots of good local music out there. All you got to do is go and listen to it. And not everyone's good. I'm telling you, this one's going to be good, all right? I don't know how to tell you that. I mean, sometimes you hear a band, it's like, woohoo. Nah, these guys are solid, man. So go ahead. I don't want to diss anybody, but sometimes some of the bands that they put on these shows, they're on this side of the spectrum, and then you get the other side of the spectrum, and it sounds like you guys got a really good lineup with what you have planned here.
Right on. Appreciate that. Yeah, first, thank you for having us on.
Yeah, Phil, you're
Phil
fantastic.
Maq. Phil, there's a little bit of history here with Phil, just to take a second to mention this. When the first song we recorded was Wish You Well, we recorded that a long time ago when we decided to become an original band just to see if we should pursue it. And we were really happy with the results of that and decided we should write a whole album, and we did. Phil actually aired that song for us, it must have been at least 2 years ago. So we really appreciate the support of supporting local music. If we don't support local music, then the big bands that we love to go and see will never happen, because they all start as a local band at some point and before they grow. So if you guys want to support the Garden of Soul and maybe help your soul to grow a little bit, we made it really, really easy. You just remember thegardenofsoul.com. If you go to our website, down towards the bottom of the page, you can find all of our social links. You can find YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. It's all on there. There's a music page where you can listen to the tracks. You can buy the CD. You can get a physical CD. There's digital downloads through CD Baby and iTunes and all the rest of them. We're pretty much everywhere now. So just start with thegardenofsoul.com and you'll find everything you need.
There you go. And when you go over there, you go to their Facebook page, give them a like. Go check them out this weekend at
The Loving Touch in Ferndale. Doors at 8. We're on at 9.
All right. Oh, 9 o'clock. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That should work out really well.
Hey, and when we're done, come and see us. We'll sign an autograph. We'll get you a CD, whatever you can do. Stop by and We'd love to meet you.
Yeah, this is a celebration. We plan on celebrating all night. It's nice to go on early, and then we can just rock out with some friends.
Do you guys? And I'm not trying to make a bad analogy here. Does it feel? I mean, like, are you proud parents on this? You know, I mean, how do you guys feel about the whole album here?
Well, I'm too close to the forest to see the trees. So
Well, and being somebody that's in the band, you know, you always, it's kind of strange because you lose that first hearing the song, you know, kind of
First
falling
impression.
in, that first impression that you get from listening to a song. So it's kind of weird because, you know, we've lived with these songs for a while, putting them together, recording them, doing all that stuff, and it's just kind of, you know, we like to hear how people like the songs when they first hear them because we don't really have the opportunity to have done that. So, but you know, obviously we love the CD. We have really poured our hearts into doing the CD.
Yeah,
and
I think
came
too
out
that-
really good. So.
I think that's why it's important for us, at least, to have people check out the songs on the Facebook and give us a like or even a dislike. You know, we can't improve if we don't know, you know, what people want or what people like. And you know, I think Kenny hit the nail on the head. For us, it's been a long time coming. And and we've played these songs so much, and to go out now and play them live as a released album, it's kind of bittersweet because we've been playing these songs for the last 4 or 5 years, and now the world's really getting an opportunity to hear them, and we're hopeful that you know, it's going to touch each individual a certain way, and they're going to really like them. So check us out on the pages, you know, on the Facebook page.
Yeah, and you know, that's confidence when he says, "Hey, give us a dislike. You know, we can improve."
sure.
Absolutely.
That's confidence.
At least you have an opinion about it. That's
right. Yeah,
Not
that's
just,
An opinion
listen
is
to it
better
and
than nothing. Yeah,
That's
you're
right.
right. Absolutely.
want to hear them all.
Okay. Hey, while you're going over there to the Garden of Stone and giving them a like, don't forget to drop by your old buddy Phil Maq, Philmaq. Give my page a like too if you
That's
haven't
right.
done it before. I expect to hear plenty more from these guys. I expect them to be around the station more. You know,
on it.
but I'm telling you, this is I'm ecstatic about this album. You know, like I say, it's that first album of the year. It's fresh. It's cool. And I'm really glad that you chose WHFR and Primetime Thematic to come on and talk about it. And like I say, hopefully we'll have you guys back and we'll do something else. But it's great, man. I really like this. We're going to finish up with Bad Man. So, okay, go ahead, Mike. You got something?
Yeah, Bad Man was actually one of the few songs I think that we actually wrote pretty much in one take, and it stayed true from the first time we played it till what you hear on the CD today. You know, Leon talks about the iPhone Chronicles and all that. And it's funny to go listen back to Queen Isabella and The Forsaken and all these songs and what they started out.
They did evolve,
as,
yeah.
and what they evolved into. But Bad Man stayed true from the moment we put the rubber to the road, so to speak.
It was good.
It's one of the more upbeat tunes that we have. I know we've been playing some of the more intense songs, but this is the one that we typically close the show with.
Okay. It's a good song. It's a good rocker. Bad Man by the Garden of Soul. Go check them out Saturday night at Loving Touch in Ferndale. And, you know, you're going to have some fun checking these guys, listening to what they have to play. And, you know, like I said, I'm real happy for Detroit music because this is like classic kind of Detroit rock, you know, just really good stuff. So anybody, you guys want to say goodbye individually or what?
Yeah, I want to say thanks to everybody that was out there listening.
That's Bone.
Yeah, it's going to be a good 2017. And the last thing I want to say is at the end of this song, Kenny, who doesn't say a whole lot, and half the time at the shows you don't even see him because he's drowned it out back there behind the drum kit. But listen closely at the end of the song, and he'll tell you what he thinks.
There's a little Easter egg there, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we got we're saying goodbye here. We're going to say goodbye to Bone, Drake, Mike, and Kenny.
Thanks,
and
Phil.
yeah.
Oh, you're
we,
welcome.
we appreciate the opportunity. It's been
All right.
great.
And we'll see the rest of
you're
you
welcome.
Saturday night, the Loving Touch
That's
in Ferndale.
right.
There you
Get
go.
off the couch, come down. You'll have fun, I promise.
And the timing is perfect. You can go have dinner at 7. Many good restaurants in Ferndale, and then wander
yeah.
on over to Love and Touch for us at 9.
Absolutely.
And it's an all-age show, so,
16 and up.
16 up. I'm excited because my boys Anthony and Nick will be there for his time. Good to see their old man rock it out live.
Yeah, that's a good one to mention. Thanks, Al.
All right, here we go. Bad Man by the Garden of Soul off of Forsaken, and you can find it at thegardenofsoul.com.
Well, it's wintertime here in our little mitten state, and you know what that means. It's time to get signed up for winter classes here at Henry Ford College. With top-shelf instructors and...
Shine on me. Shine on your love light. Let it shine on me.
Yeah, that's right. Check out The Jumper every Wednesday night from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. He keeps the candles burning around here for a while on WHFR because you're listening to WHFR.FM, the only station making waves. I'm Phil Maq. This is Primetime Thematic. Going to do the top 9 at 9:09. And they're going to kick things off. And you know me, I'm not really into time, so it's close enough. So if you're sticking with me and you wanted it earlier, I apologize for that. But hey, I had a cool band in the studio. What am I going to do? I can't kick them out. As a matter of fact, I didn't. They're sitting here with me. But I'm going to do things here. I'm going to get things rolling. Number 9, and there's a lot of new songs on this list. So, it's the first list of the year. There has to be a lot of new stuff on it. This is John Poussette, Dart. And this is off the album Talk. This is Come On, Come On, Come On at number 9. All right, number 1 in 1968 right now, off the White Album. Bonus track for tonight's countdown. I still have the Garden of Soul with me, and they're sharing time here as I'm going through the countdown. They want to tell you about a bonus. We're going to have a bonus song coming up by them pretty soon. So if you've listened and tuned in to listen to them, you're going to get one more track by these guys. Just not yet, okay? It's a tease right now. And so... say something so that way they know I don't have you guys locked up somewhere.
Sure. For those that just joined the show for the top 9 at 9, we didn't get a chance to play "Wish You Well," which was the first track that we had recorded a couple years ago, just to see if we wanted to pursue being an original band because we were originally a cover band, and it just so happened that our good buddy Phil Maq actually aired that song for us a couple years ago. So. He agreed to maybe play it as a bonus track for you guys tonight.
Oh, I'm definitely playing it. All right, number 7. This is a local band, Andy and the Pandies. This is off their album Bad Church, a song called Change.
WHFR.
WHFR Dearborn. Have a nice day.
All right. Hey, we're back at WHFR. You just heard it said like 50 times. And I'm Phil Maq, Primetime Thematic. And just going through the countdown. But we're going to take a little break from the countdown because we're going to do a bonus track because the guys from the Garden of Soul are still here, and they want to play this song. This is really important to them, and it's a good song, so I'm cool with that. And so just to refresh everybody's memory, including my own, we got Bone, we got Drake, we got Mike, and we got Kenny, all right? And that's the whole band. We got singer, bass, guitar, and drums, right? Are we good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, and I got you guys all mic'd up. All right, so I've been debuting their album. I did a heavy... dose of songs in the first hour, and we're going to do another track here, just a bonus track. And it's not just a bonus track. This is the one that I introduced, and I was introduced to this song and to the band through this song. So I'm going to let the guys talk about it. This is from their new album, Forsaken. Go ahead, take it away, guys.
Who wants to say something about it?
Well, I would just like to mention that we do have a keyboardist on this particular song, Bill. And he was a member of the band for probably around a year and a half, 2 years. We're still in contact with him. He moved down to Columbus, and we miss him. We miss having him in the band. He was a really big asset to us, and we're hoping to be able to use some of his keyboard expertise in the future on some of the other stuff that we write. So,
amen. We miss you, Slick.
Better believe it.
Yeah, and we think the keys in this track really kind of make it. Doing all the mixing and what have you. I almost felt like I was trying to compensate for not having a keyboard player for all the other tracks that we had on this album here, with all the layering and double and triple tracking guitars and that sort of thing. Because when Bill came into the band, he was an old prog rock guy, which of course made Kenny really, really happy.
Very happy.
You should see his album collection.
Yeah,
full of it.
Really happy that Yes got into the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Good thing.
So when he first came into the band, I was like, we're a rock band. We're not really a prog rock band. How is this going to work? But But Slick was amazing. He was a fiddler. He was always just fiddling. So he brought all these different textures and flavors to what we were doing. And this track really kind of shows that off.
Thus
the keys
prog
are in
rock.
Yeah.
Really, none of his playing in it is really prog rocky at all.
No, that's the
it's
thing.
not.
Very gentle piano
Yeah, and
parts.
I think especially in this song is a very drawn out, dramatized song, and he brought a lot of that drama to the song with the touch that he brought in there with the keys, and I think that this is a song about heartbreak, really. Is what it is, and everybody can relate to that, and some people handle it different ways,
Yeah, I like to call this our middle finger love song.
Hey, you could say that.
We've all had our hearts
bleep
ripped
that.
out and left for dead.
That's right.
All right, so here we go. This is Wish You Well, the Garden of Soul. One more time, I'm going to keep having you guys say this. Where are you guys playing?
We're playing this Saturday night at the Loving Touch in Ferndale. Doors at 8. We're on at 9.
All right, here we go. Wish You Well. Yeah, Garden of Soul. Yeah, from their album Forsaken. Wish You Well. I'm telling you, man, a lot of good stuff in there. I've certainly enjoyed talking music with these guys. We're even talking when we're not talking. You know what I mean? We're talking while the music's playing, and we're still talking stuff. So just a really. I can't say it any clearer than that. There's an instrumental on there, which is really nice. There's another straight ahead rocker on there, which is really cool. And there's stuff that was edited particularly for the show, but we're not going to play those tonight. I'll be fitting them in somewhere, because that's how I do things here on Thematic and Primetime Thematic. And over at the station, and hopefully somebody else, maybe even at the station, may pick up on it. They brought some goodies, maybe something we could use for Pledge Drive. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. The Garden of Soul, who are going to be playing this Saturday over at the Loving Touch. And I'm going to let them say their stuff one more time, because why would you come on if you can't do that? That's what it's all about.
All right, we'll be playing this Saturday night at the Loving Touch in Ferndale. Doors at 8. We're on at 9. You can find all the information on our website, thegardenofsoul.com.
Hey, and thanks again, Phil, for keeping local music live here on WHFR FM.
Oh, that was good. Hey, we should have done that in the other studio.
We will.
All right. Go check these guys out. Obviously, they're really into music. They're having a lot of fun. They're nice guys just in general. Gee whiz, how often do you get that? The Loving Touch, the gardenofsoul.com, where you can find their music. And they're really proud of this. And you could just tell just by talking to them, how happy they are talking about it, and then they all have these different ideas on it. This is great, it's a lot of fun to do this kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to play the number one song, which actually has been number one already before on the Phil's Faves. And thanks a lot, guys. I just,
Thank you so much.
We
Really
appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
Phil.
you.
I'm going to keep them around all the time, just have them in a closet somewhere.
Love the idea. We'd love to be back.
We charge for that.
Okay, yeah, all right. Well, so much for that. I'll give you the same wage I get. No, that wouldn't be worth it. But no, you got to go see them at the Loving Touch. See, that's where they can get something, and find out about a couple other bands that night. All right, so number one on the Phil's Faves list this week, the first Faves list of the year. This is formerly number one. It bounced down, but it bounced back up now because it apparently is a rubbery kind of song, and it's the title in the song says it all. It's this is by Sultans of String with Anwar Khurshid. And these guys are having a nice little run with this album. This is from Subcontinental Drift. For some reason in my brain, I got Divide in there somewhere. So anyway, this is Sultans of String. They've been on the show a couple times, playing in the studio, and I've interviewed them more than that. But here's Blowing in the Wind, the Bob Dylan song, kind of doing a little Bollywood style. Sultans of String with Anwar Khurshid, number one.